Congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche on winning the Stanley Cup. What does it feel like to win the Cup? I thought today would be appropriate to talk to one guy who won the Cup 3 times with 3 different teams. He also is a former assistant coach in the National Hockey League for the last 5 years. Is he interested in joining his former team, the Montreal Canadiens, as part of their coaching staff? If not, where's he going? Does he know somebody who might be a good candidate? All that and more. We look back on the great career of Mark Recchi. He joins me on the Sick Podcast. I'm Marinaro.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro. The sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup.
Sports entertainment like no other. Brought to you by 8.6 Beer, intense by nature, and Lacage. If the last time you went to Lacage was when the Habs won the Cup, it's time you went back to Lacage. The menu will surprise you.
Welcome, I'm Marinaro. It was about a year ago. I was vacationing in Florida for a couple of days, and I walked into an Italian cafe, and who do I see walk in? Mark Recchi. So I got his number, and it took a while, but I finally got him on the Sick Podcast. Here he is. Mark, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Very, very good. Nice to see you again. I remember that day at Bar Sportivo where we sat down and we talked hockey for a couple of hours. It was a lot of fun, and I want to let you know right away, I'm not going to keep you a couple of hours today, okay?
Yeah, that was fun. A lot of fun. We had a lot of great, met a lot of good friends down there, and obviously Vito introduced us down in Florida, so awesome.
Yeah, it was nice to see you, Mark, and it's good to have you today on the podcast. Congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche who won the Stanley Cup last night, Mark, and I figure who better to talk about the Cup and how hard it is to win it than a guy who's won it 3 times with 3 different teams. But before we get to that, what a fantastic Stanley Cup final, eh?
Incredible. I mean, if there's players watching that and you find out really how hard it is to win and what you have to do to win. And that was 2 teams that they laid it on the line, both of them. And it was incredible to watch. I mean, obviously Colorado was talent coming off, they're coming out of the charts right now, and they're a terrific team. But I don't think Tampa was quite as good a team, but you just saw how they are true champions.
Yeah.
How hard they battled, how hard they competitive, they blocking shots, everything, and then ended up being both sides. It was just, it's great for the game, and really fun to watch. And I was on the edge of my seat every game, so it was great, except for game 2, obviously.
Yeah. Mark, I'm 49 years old, and I've seen some great defensemen play the game. Obviously, Nick Lidstrom was unbelievable, and Ray Bourque was really something, and there were others. But I don't know if I've ever seen something quite like Mikhail Makar.
It is amazing what he's done at this young age and how quick he's blossomed into this player he is right now. I mean, he's so dynamic offensively, but he is great defensively. He competes. Yeah. He does everything that you need in a defenseman, and it's incredible, and his explosiveness is it's so good, and it's great to see. I mean, he's great for the game, and he'll bring another dynamic. I mean, that's like Bobby Orr, back in the day. So.
No, you're right, because listen, I was going to say the last time I saw an offensive defenseman like that was Paul Coffey skating like that. But with all due respect to Paul, who's a Hall of Famer and great, I don't want to discredit him at all. I think Makar might be a notch above in terms of defensively, right? So we're looking at quite a defenseman here. I think it's unbelievable. But you talked about the Tampa Bay Lightning and what a tough out they were. I mean, even losing, I think today in a cap era, we can look at them and I can understand the argument if you don't call them a dynasty because they won 2 cups and people consider a dynasty 4 cups or more. But for me, what they were able to accomplish, I'm almost willing to say it was a dynasty.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, just because of the salary cap era and how hard it is to continue to to keep your team where it's at, and for them to get to the finals on their third year and to battle like they did is mind-boggling to me, and it's incredible to watch. And you know what? I don't think I'm not sure they're done yet either. So they still got some great pieces there, and they'll always find a way. They got a terrific organization, and they'll find a way to get it, where they're competitive again next year.
Talking to a guy who won 3 Stanley Cups, it meant so much to him. He actually got it tattooed. Let's take a look at it. There we go. Look at that, huh?
Yeah.
Where do you have? Where do you have that on your leg? Where do you have that?
Yeah, it's on my bottom right leg. Yeah, so it's I got that a week after I retired, so I got that done. So,
it's pretty cool. Hey, watching.
Actually, I'm going to add to it here pretty quick. So I'm going to add a Canadian one because I was fortunate to win the World Juniors and in the World Championship. So I'm going to add a Canadian one, and then the Turner Cup I won in the minors as well. So I'm gonna those are getting added soon. So
that's pretty cool. Hey, watching the images last night, Corey Perry's face, his wife crying. Could you imagine, Mark, losing in the Cup final 3 straight years with Dallas, with Montreal, and then with Tampa? I mean, God love him. You got to feel good for him that at least he won a cup. And there's a lot of great players who never won one, but losing 3 years in a row in the final, considering the grind, I can't imagine the pain.
Yeah, and he's such an ultra competitor, and that's a reason why he gets to those places and teams bring him in, because he's competitive and he knows how to get the job done, and he just falls short. I mean, that's one team can win, and it's unfortunate that he's hasn't gotten to that next level again. But like you said, bang on. It was very fortunate that he won early in his career in Anaheim, and at least he's got that one. But you just want to keep winning. He's got that drive.
Mark, there aren't too many people that had careers like yours. I mean, let's take a look at your stat sheet here on Hockey DB. 22 seasons, 1,841 total games if we add the regular season games and the playoffs. Mark, what was your secret in a game that is a physical game, a contact sport? Players go out with injuries all the time. When you look back on your career now, did you have a secret for being healthy, staying healthy, the longevity you had?
Red wine. Mario taught me early. Mm-hmm. So, no, you know what? It's obviously conditioning is a home part, a lot of luck involved, where you maybe you break a finger, but you can still play. You break a bone, you can still play. You tweak your knee, but you're still fortunate you can still play. So, it's just something, players are willing to play through, and that was just something that I never wanted to let my teammates down. I wanted to be out there every night, and I was fortunate enough that I was able to do that. And obviously conditioning was a big part of that. Yeah. I'm a little thicker as well. I think that helped me in the game as well. I was a little thicker and I know what you mean. Thick, so, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting there too.
That's why I've been in the business for over 20 years. You because you were thick and the wine, and me because I was thick and the beer. Brought to you by 8.6, by the way. Intense by nature, the beer for those who follow their instinct and live their passions in order to make their mark. You win your first cup in your second full season with the Penguins. Out of the 3 teams, and I know they're all special, the 91 Penguins, was it 2006 with Carolina, and 2011 with the Bruins? Yeah. Probably a hard question for you to answer, but can I say that Pittsburgh was the best team of the 3?
Well, definitely the most. Yeah, I would say probably the most talented team out of the 3. And when you look at it, you got obviously the Hall of Famers on that team: Ronnie Francis, Mario Lemieux, Larry Murphy, Paul Coffey, Joey Mullen. I know I'm missing a couple too. So it's incredible that Brian Trottier. He was in Jaromir Jagr. We're going down the list.
Kevin Stevens played on that team. Yeah,
Kevin Stevens, and he was an incredible player. So it was just talent. When you got one of the best players to ever play the game, that never hurts either. So.
I'll never get sick of Mario or Wayne stories. All right. Yeah. For me, the 2 greatest players I've ever seen in my life. Once again, I'm 49 years old. Can you give me a Mario story of just something you saw when you said to yourself, "Oh my mother of God"? Can you give me one? You probably have so many, I know, but
I have a lot, yeah. And I remember, I mean, I threw a crap pass to him once. We were in Madison Square Garden, and I threw it about 3 feet high, and he just tapped it down, all calm, and then went in and danced the defenseman and scored. And I was like, oh, that's one hell of a helper I just got. So, but there was many of those. There was a never bad pass to him. It was, he was incredible. And obviously everybody remembers the Minnesota goal that he scored. I mean, for big guys, for 6'4", and I mean, to be able to skate and be able to handle the puck and create his edges like he did is something special.
Yeah, that series versus Minnesota, I think the final game was, what was it, 6-0, 8-0? What was it?
Yeah, 8-0, I think, yeah.
Yeah, once he decided to put it in fifth gear, Mario was like, it was just forget about it. Didn't he score like 5 goals, 5 different ways in one game, I think, versus the Rangers too or whatever? But he was, and I'm in Villa Sal, okay, and I'm about, a 6 or 7 minute drive away from where Mario grew up in Villamard. And so, there's a lot of people in this neck of the woods that were blessed to see Mario even play ball hockey. Like, suppose I was talking to a buddy of mine who used to play ball hockey versus Mario as a kid growing up. He used to tell me that Mario used to score 20, 25 goals a game.
Doesn't shock me. It doesn't shock me at all. So, yeah, he's incredible.
You also played with Eric Lindros, of course, in Philadelphia. Can you give me a story on the Big E?
Oh, the Big E. He was a big, strong man and so talented for his size. And it's unfortunate, that he had the injuries, but what a special talent he was. And the size and the physicality that he was able to play with. I mean, he fought, he was a big guy. He fought, he played hard. He was physical. I mean, I don't really have anything specific, but, I remember him playing against Quebec his first time. He ended up fighting Simon, I believe it was, and then he scored. I think he scored the game-winning goal. Just like some, stuff like that. Like, he was a special player, and it's unfortunate everything got cut short in him because he was. I mean, he was just a monster. Yeah, and the talent to go with it.
Yeah, one of the best, the most dominant players of all time, and he ends up fighting Chris Simon. I mean, that's not everyone who wants to fight that guy.
Yeah, I know. He fought Chris Simon, Scott Stevens. I mean, he fought tough guys.
Yeah. Yeah, Marinero, the Sick Podcast, brought to you by Lacage. If the last time you went to Lacage was when the Habs won the Cup, it's time you go back to Lacage. The menu is surprising. I'll let you know that we're going to have the sickest Habs draft party that's going to take place on Thursday, July 7th, in collaboration with the Casual Sports. So more details for you this week. Mark, that big trade, you come over to the Montreal Canadiens, of course, and Leclerc and Desjardins and Gilbert Dion go the other way to Philadelphia. And, one of my favorite times when you were a Hab, not you specifically, but more so the team, it was just very, very special, was the closing of the Montreal Forum. I'm sure you have, you have so many souvenirs about that.
Oh, that was a dream come true. Actually, to even dress in the dressing room every day was a dream come true. You grow up as, obviously I'm Canadian, and I grew up a Habs fan, and watch them win cups and lots of cups, and be able to dress in that dressing room and be part of something so historic as that, and then to be able to close it and move into a new building and have all those guys there was surreal. It really was, and to have all of them there and the moving it over and to be something part of that was incredible.
Unfortunately, you just got traded to the Canadiens probably at the wrong time, right? I mean, they had won the Stanley Cup in '93, and then a couple of years later, unfortunately, they started to go downhill, and they had some really bad moments for about 5 or 6 years, and it was just the wrong timing, right?
Yeah, we had some pretty decent teams. We had some, good. We just couldn't get over the top, and we had some, we get to second round, or we just couldn't quite get over the top, and I mean that's. You always dream as a player, man. It would be nice to win a cup there. So, I mean, the guys, because I had, I played with Kirk Muller when I got there, and they told me,
especially if you're single.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's those. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
All right, I think it's actually kind of crazy though that such a big trade at the time. And you spend 4.5 years as a Montreal Canadian, and then you end up getting traded to Philadelphia, and you end up playing with Leclerc and Desjardins for like the next 5 years. And you guys had some good teams there in Philly, and you put up some big points, and so did John LeClaire and stuff like that. But that was crazy when you think of it, right? You're involved in a big trade, and 4.5 years later, you're playing with the guys that you were traded for.
Yeah, it is wild. I mean, to go back and get traded there and have a lot of success with them as well. And I mean, they're terrific guys. I mean, obviously they won the cup in Montreal, and they're wonderful players and wonderful guys. And it was really fun to play with them. And we didn't quite get to there. Same thing. We got to the finals twice.
Yeah.
Lost game sevens twice in the semifinals, I should say. We lost game sevens twice to get there. And those were hard stopping, we knew we were close, and, we had some really good teams, and, this just shows you how hard it is.
Yeah. You were traded several times. Let's take a look at a trade tracker. You were so good that everyone wanted you every year. But look at this one, March 9th, 2006. You're with the Pittsburgh Penguins. You guys have a bad year, and the Penguins are going through a rebuild at that time. And you waive your no trade. You accept a deal to Carolina. You go to the Carolina Hurricanes. They end up winning the Stanley Cup. When you waived your no trade, was it specifically to go, did you say to yourself, I think out of all the teams, Carolina's the team that'll win the cup this year? Or you just thought, you know what, there were several teams and you thought they're a contender, I'll go to them?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I left it up to Craig Patrick. It's a great story. I told Craig, I said, we were close and we were friends, and I said, you do what you best to think is, for me and for you guys, and try and get me to a spot where I have a chance. And he honestly, truly, he says, I'm going to send you to Carolina, and I think you have a chance to win a cup there. So I left it up to Craig, and he did me a great favor, and we, got a chance to win again.
Sounds like a good man.
Yeah, very good man. So very good man.
That's pretty cool. All right. Okay. Then you make your way to the Boston Bruins, the arch rival Boston Bruins. This podcast is taking place from Montreal, but you're with the Bruins. And in 2010, some people thought you were going to call it quits, but you decided to come back for one more year. One more year, because obviously you felt that the body could do it. But did you think, I'll come back to Boston for one more year, I think the Bruins can win the cup in 2011? Or what was your mindset back then?
That's exactly my mindset. I really thought this team was close, and I thought we'd been through a lot together, and I thought if we could just give it one more crack, I thought we had an opportunity. And the Bruins did a great job. Peter Chara and Cam Neely and obviously Claude Julien was a terrific coach. They did a good job of making some adjustments after 2010. We had some injuries at center in 2010 that really hurt us. And so they stocked up on centermen, and, they brought in extra guys that could play center or wing. And so we never had that issue again. And I just felt really good that, if we could just take one more run and start from scratch again and learn from what we've been through and go the lessons. And that's what happened. And we just got, we had a terrific year. There wasn't a month that we didn't go under. We were over 500 almost every 10-game segment. 500 or below, so we were a very consistent team, but we were a very hard team to play against as well.
Mark, in 2011, that year that you won the cup, it was one of the scariest incidents I've ever seen in my life in hockey, where Zdeno Chara hits Max Pacioretty and he connects with the stanchion. I mean, let's take a look at pictures of the scene. It wasn't fun, and Max Pacioretty laid on the ice for quite some time. A lot of people in Montreal weren't happy with you at the time because you gave a quote. I'm sure you remember this on Max Pacioretty's concussion.
You had to bring it up, did you?
Mark, here's where the fun is going to start in this podcast. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at the quote if we can. Hold on a second. Yeah. Let me put my glasses on for this one. Okay. There's the quote. It's okay. He's getting better. He does have a fractured vertebrae, but the concussion was really a non-factor. Maybe a day he felt it, and then it was fine a couple of days later. I believe they were trying to get Zdeno suspended, and they embellished it a little bit. I guess in terms of that side, you have to look at it, and I guess they were trying to do what they could do to get him suspended. And after you gave that quote, you were officially known as Dr. Recchi in Montreal. I'm sure you heard that one.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, absolutely. But obviously it's, you're trying to protect. I have all the respect in the world for Max Pacioretty. He's a heck of a player. And
Yeah.
I don't really know him that well, but he's a heck of a player. And, I'm trying to protect Zdeno as well. And he's my teammate, and, you try and deflect things so that, you take it off the heat of your teammate. And, that's, people have to understand that as well. Like, if it happened in the other way, I'm sure they would have done the same thing and said the same thing to protect their teammate. And that's what I did. I mean, I'm very fortunate that he was okay. Yeah. And, that he came and he's had a heck of a career. I mean, he just continues to play great hockey. So, it's, that's what people don't, hope people understand that. Yeah. I have a captain that I'm protecting and who's a wonderful person who would never, ever do anything to hurt anybody. If people knew Zdeno Chara, he's one of the kindest, most gentle, big guys that are around. That he plays a physical game, and it was unfortunate that stanchion. Thank God they've changed it. I can tell you that. So because you never want to see that again.
Okay, Mark. Listen, I consider you and I buddies. All right. Yeah. I look at the quote, and the fact that he was able to go to a movie and stuff like that leads me to believe that the concussion was not that bad. I totally understand your quote. I totally get it. But between you and I, it was an intentional hit.
I don't think it was intentional. No, I really don't. I think Zdeno was trying to hit him, and it just happened that the stanchion was there, but I don't think there was no injury intention. I can tell you that.
Yeah, but, I'm playing with
so that but talking to Patrice Bergeron, I talked to Patrice a lot, and I said, well, I remember him saying he couldn't see light when he was going through his concussion problems, and he was really struggling. He went through a long stretch, and I talked to him about it before I even said that. So, he said there's no way I'd have been able to go to a movie. So, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even function. So, and then there's different concussions. So we all know that there's more extreme. There's some that aren't as extreme. So, we
should hear about mine.
Yeah.
My son was about, I don't know, like 10 years old or whatever it was. I went to watch his soccer game. I was standing up against the fence. My wife called me. I turned around. As soon as I turned around, I got the ball right here. Oh, shit. I went down. I got a concussion. Yeah. And you know what? Once you get one, it seems like the other ones follow you around. You end up getting a couple. And I have the sunglasses with me all the time because sometimes they get kind of bad. Hey, Mark.
Yeah. I had some pretty good issues with concussions too. I was on pills for 2 years to control concussions. Yeah. So I would go numb. They would just flare up, and I'd go numb down my whole side of my body, and then I'd just faint. So, so I had some issues here.
How many do you think you had in your career?
I'm not sure. There's a number of them for sure, but everybody became more aware of them as the league went on, and players became more aware of them. So at least you knew what it was. I remember the first time I really got rocked. And I'm like, man, I don't know why I feel so good. Maybe I'm not in good enough shape. And so I'd jump on the bike and I'd ride harder. Try to get, and then a couple of weeks later I felt better, but, I felt like crap for 2 weeks. But, I was actually
you played through them, Mark? You played through them?
Back then you didn't even realize, I didn't even know. I didn't tell the trainer. I got to the bench and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm ready to go.
Wow.
So we weren't the brightest back then. So, but as you got more aware of the concussions, and you figured it out. So
he was standing up for his teammate. Let's take a look at a picture of Mark with the big Z. Look, there you go.
Yeah. That's my big buddy.
Yeah.
I'm like his little kid.
Do you think he's going to come back and play next season?
I'm not sure if he is. You know what? He played well for the Islanders again. He played hard. He played well. He was a presence on the ice. It's just a matter of I know he wants to win another cup, so it's just a matter of, if he finds that right fit. I'm not sure though. I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to him about it, but we're just in Texas. Our whole Bruins team's in Texas all the time, but we're trying to figure out. We had our 10 years, and we're still trying to find the reunion time to get together.
I came across your bar tab for the team the other day. I'm sure you saw that on social media and stuff like that, right? What was it? A couple $100,000 that the Bruins spent that night you won the cup?
No, it was like 20. We spent I think it was like 24 or something we spent, but the champagne bottle got given to us by a company.
Okay.
And it was $100,000.
Oh,
so
wow.
they gave it to us. And that was
Wow.
like, and it ended up getting a lot of publicity for them. So,
Wow.
which is what they wanted. So, but they gave us the bottle. So we never spent that. We would never spend that kind of money.
Mark, what's the craziest thing you ever did with the cup? Did you ever do anything crazy with it, or a teammate did with it that you can share with us? Or
No, well, I mean, everybody knows the story about Mario. It's in the bottom of the pool, Mario's pool. The first year we won in '91.
Yeah.
And that in it, hard to get it out. And there was those stories, but it's a lot more tame now because you only get it till midnight now. You get it all day and you get it till midnight, and you gotta, back when we first had it, like you just wandered around with it and went from there. But then it became more, now it's pretty structured, so you really can't do anything crazy with it. So
Mark, player development coach with the Penguins for several seasons, assistant coach with the Penguins for 3 seasons. You were an assistant coach with the New Jersey Devils for 2 seasons. They made a change probably about a couple of months ago now, and you're out of a job right now. There's a job opening in Montreal, and Mark Recchi's name has been rumored to join the Canadiens coaching staff. Have you been contacted?
No.
No.
I have not been contacted, no.
No. You have any connection to Marty St. Louis, Kent Hughes,
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon whatsoever?
I played with Marty in Tampa.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played with Marty there. So yeah. I mean, Marty's got that power play. He'll do a great job with that power play. I think he's going to do a terrific job for them. I'm excited he got the opportunity, and I think he'll do a great job there. So, I mean, I think it's tough losing Luke. Luke was a terrific coach, Luke Richardson, and he'll do a really good job in Chicago as well. So,
Are you surprised that Marty St. Louis got the opportunity, seeing as he didn't have any head coaching experience in the National Hockey League? And usually they reshuffle and recycle a lot of coaches who have been in the league for a long time.
You know what? No, because I think, some people are willing to take a little bit of a risk, and that is, but he's great hockey mind. And, you got to learn, he's got to learn. Obviously he's got to surround himself with good people. And, coaching's not the easiest gig in the world, but, he's such a smart guy, and he's, he gets the game. He's got great hockey IQ. He'll figure it out, and he'll be great for that team. And he'll get better and better as he goes on here. And I'm sure he's going to surround himself with good people that, that'll help him along as well if he does have some questions or needs some help. But I think it's a great job, a great opportunity. I'm glad he get it, because it gives me hope that maybe someday I can try and grasp onto maybe if I keep going in this role as assistant coach, maybe someday I'll get an opportunity as well.
Mark Recchi is going to be coaching in the National Hockey League next season. You'll be behind the bench somewhere. Are you confident?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to see how it plays out this summer. So, I'm not really in any hurry right now. So I'm just going to kind of see what happens, and kind of, I've been at it a long time, and I love the game, and I still want to be involved in it. So, we'll see what comes up.
Yeah, with Luke Richardson on his way to be the head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks, there was an article that was written that had the 10 top 10 coaching candidates to join the Montreal Canadiens. Let's take a look at it. There you have it. The top 10 potential candidates to replace Luke Richardson: Benoit Groux, Pascal Vincent, Joel Bouchard, Mark Recchi, Alain Nasreddine, Jean-François Houle, who coaches the Rocket, Guy Boucher, Jacques Martin, Rick Bowness, Francis Bouillon. I think we can scratch Rick Bowness's name off the list. This is according to Alexandre Desrosiers of RumeurDeTransaction.com, because Rick Bowness has said that at his age, and he's got grandkids, he never say never. He could still go back, but if he does, he's not interested in joining a rebuilding team. But there's a name on that list. You said you weren't contacted, but there's a name, Alain Nasreddine. Him you know very well, because he was an assistant coach with the New Jersey Devils. You guys worked together. He has a lot of experience as an assistant coach at the American Hockey League level, at the National Hockey League level, and even was a head coach for like half a season or whatever it was. Mark, would he be a good candidate to replace Luke Richardson with the Canadiens, in your opinion? Yes or no, and why?
Yeah, he'd be an outstanding one, but I think they're too late. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have
I can't tell you where.
Okay.
I can't tell you where, but I can tell you they're too late. So.
Okay.
I just actually talked to him this morning. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but he would have been if I mean the timing wasn't right. Like the timing wasn't right, obviously, because Luke just left. But he would have been terrific. He's a terrific coach. I love him. I've watched him from Wilkes-Barre up to New Jersey, and he's a terrific coach. And he would have been a great fit for them for sure.
Wow. All right. So Alain Nesreddine has been hired as an assistant coach with an NHL team. Right?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yep.
All right. Okay. There we go.
Cross him off.
You said you haven't talked to the Canadians. Would you like to?
Yeah, if Marty called, I'd listen for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And you're always willing to listen. And it's a great tradition there, great city. Yeah, I mean, you're always willing to listen. But I'm not sure I'm the right fit for. They're looking for probably more of a defensive coach. And not that I wouldn't. I mean, I'd give it a shot. I can teach. I think I have hockey IQ. I could teach, but I think they're probably looking for a little bit of something different. And I think Marty's got a pretty good handle on the offense and stuff like that, and the younger players. So,
Mark, is there and we're gonna won't keep you too much longer here, but is there a rule you change? We just watched an incredible playoffs, an incredible Stanley Cup final. Is there one rule that bugs you? Because there's a couple that bug me.
The over the glass bugs me. That rule, shooting it over the glass, that drives me crazy because it usually happens during a PK, and it makes it a 5-on-3. That's when because the guy's just trying to clear it. That drives me nuts. That one, but
hold on though. At the same time, if there's no rule in place, you can't have just guys shooting it over the glass every time they're in trouble, right?
Well, exactly, and that's where the fine line. But it always seems to happen when it's a 5-on-3 when the guy's just really just trying to get it down the ice. So he's not trying to throw it up in the stands. He's trying to get it down the ice. And
so would you say don't call an over the glass penalty if the team is on the penalty kill?
No, I'm not saying that. I wish there was some way we could figure out. Some way you could figure it out, but it's just a tough way to get a penalty. And I know that guys would throw it in the stands, but in those situations, I'm just saying in penalty kill situations, those guys are just trying to get it down the ice. So
I don't know what goalie interference is anymore.
No, that's the one. No idea.
Yeah, that bothers me. It really bothers me.
We talked about it a lot during the season this year and the last couple of years. It's like you don't know what to call. Like you don't even know if you should challenge it or not because you just don't know anymore. And they've got to make it a little bit more black and white for the coaches and for the goalies.
Hey, seeing as you worked for the Devils for a couple of years, there's a lot of talk about their second pick overall in the 2022 NHL amateur draft. Here in Montreal, a lot of people would like to see the Canadians trade for that pick. I would. I think it would be a great splash if you could have 1 and 2 at a draft that you're actually going to host. You think the Devils are going to trade the pick?
I have no idea. I mean, I read they were willing to, but I haven't been in touch with really anybody since I left, except for Lindy and the coaching staff. Really, I've stayed in touch with them, but on the management side, I haven't talked to really anybody. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. I mean, they have to get better, and they know that. So maybe they do trade that pick and they get something they think can help them right now and for the next 4 or 5 years. They got some young studs.
Yeah, you can actually bet on that on Betway for the love of the game. Sign up and deposit on Betway for 100% deposit bonus. See the way I get the plugs in, Mark, eh? The easiest sportsbook for Canadians. E-transfers are accepted. All right, Mark, rapid fire.
You're good at it.
Thank you. I'm not just another pretty face. I'm pretty good at what I do. 3 or 4 rapid questions, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
The best player in the game not named Connor McDavid is?
Cale Makar.
The best goalie in the game is?
Vasilevsky.
And now I'm going to put you on the spot. And the best coach you've coached against that you've actually seen and you said, this guy is sharp, is who?
John Cooper.
Wow. That's sharp, eh?
Yeah,
by the way, I love his press conferences. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, he makes so many great adjustments, and I've just watching him over the years, and I just love how he makes adjustments. His whole coaching staff, they do a terrific job, and I really love what Bednar did too. He really did a terrific job, and he made a lot of adjustments in the course of his series too.
When am I going to see you in Montreal?
I don't know. You never know. I've got I might be working on coming up there for a signing at some point in August. I don't know how that's
Is that
going,
right?
but yeah, so possibly. So, but I'm not going to come up for the draft. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to hang out at home with my family here. So,
all right.
But other than that, and then when are you going to Florida?
I'm not going to Florida. I'm going to La Romana actually this summer.
Oh yeah, nice.
Cana. Yeah, I'm going to be there in the middle of July. I'm going to go there for a bit. I don't think I'm going to Florida this summer, but can you do me a favor? Yeah. If you come to Montreal, I'd love to see you, and hopefully I can introduce you to Agnello and Sammy behind the scenes, and we can get together for a plate of pasta.
Would love to. Absolutely.
One plate for you, 5 plates for me.
Yeah. Sounds great to me.
Thanks for joining me on the Sick Podcast today. I really appreciate it, bud.
My pleasure, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a great summer. There you have it, the great Mark Recchi. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Sick Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll be notified when we upload an episode or when we go live. Mark Recchi, what a sick guest. It's the Sick Podcast. Tell your friends about it. I'm Marinaro.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by 8.6, Intense by Nature, and Lacage. If the last time you went to Lacage was when the Habs won the Cup, it's time you went back to Lacage. The menu will surprise you.